Fashion school owners, tailors with apprentice, are you one of them? Come over here, we'll have a talk. Okay, so today in this video, I'm going to be sharing with us 5 tips and more that can help fashion school owners, tailors with apprentice, or anyone who has a student, adult student that is learning a skill. Okay, this is for us. Now, the 5 tips, number one says, have a structure. What do I mean by having a structure? This comprises of the rules and regulations that you want everyone to keep when they come to your academy. It doesn't matter if it is one person, it doesn't matter if there are 100 and more. Have written down rules and regulations that guide everyone and the activity they are going to be doing, and also the penalty that comes with breaking any of the rules that you've written and they agreed to it before starting with you. Okay, I see a lot of persons starting a fashion school or having apprentice without any rule, without any regulation, without anything written that guides both the teacher and the students. And before you know it, they start having issues. So before someone begins with you from the very first day, they need to sign an agreement. Either the agreement is legally binding or it's a mutual agreement, whichever one it is. If you can't get a lawyer at the moment, let them agree that this is what is going to be done in your academy. That will solve 50 to 60% of any issue that you're going to have with such person. Though we do not pray to have issues, but humans, we can always change. Okay, it solves more than 50% of any problem that may be coming up in the future. Have laid down rules and regulation. When to come to school, what time to resume, what you're going to be teaching, how to submit your assignment, when to submit assignment, what to take and what not to take, what to have and what not to have. Don't take what does not belong to you, and just so many things that you know you can tolerate and things that you can't tolerate. Write them down from the very first day. It solves a lot of problems. Okay, so number two, this number two is very important, like very, very important. If you want any student to respect you, you have to respect yourself first, right? You need to respect yourself first. Nobody respects anybody who does not respect him or herself. So you have to make sure that you do not break the rules that you've written. Don't come to class late, but some days you just disappear, nobody is seeing you without any excuse of why you won't be in class. You're already breaking the rules, so why won't they break the rules? Be the leader by example, not just by word of mouth. If there is anything guiding the students, make sure you show them by example that this is what you want and this is what you do not want. Don't just say it, but practice it. Okay, that's very important. Don't come late. Make sure you yourself do not come late. I know sometimes things can happen, but then it's always good to communicate. In case of anything happens and you might not be early or you might not be around, don't think that you're too big to call on phone or drop a message that this is what is happening and you might not be able to show up. But don't make the excuse frequent. Okay, this is very important. Now, number three is even more important. Avoid gossiping with your students. What do I mean? Gossiping one student with another student. I mean, what are you expecting? They are your students, not your gossip mates, except otherwise proven. But in this case, student, teacher, you do not have anything to do with gossiping a student or reporting a student to another student. That student is not the other student's mother or father or uncle or whatever, guarantor or something that brought the student there. So why reporting the student to another student? You're only causing problems because that student you're reporting one student to will still go and report you to the other student, right? So don't gossip with one student against another student. You're setting yourself up for what you do not know. All right. Now the next one, and of course, if you do that, they are going to see you as a teacher or a leader that does not have emotional intelligence, and that's very bad. So the next one is you need to be patient. If you're a teacher and you are not a patient person, then teaching is not your calling. You have to be patient. You're dealing with humans, and humans have problems. Or just being a human is a problem already. So patience is very important for any teacher, because these students are going to whine you, and if you're not careful, you fall for it, right? So be patient with the students, have self-control. Now patience comes helps you to know that every student have different learning pace and different learning capacity, right? That one person is getting it and the other person doesn't seem to follow along does not mean that that other person is a dullard or is already a failure, right? Some students do well when they leave the school premises or even when they graduate. You see them begin to come up, but while in school, they might not be showing that they are really understanding what you're saying or following along. But even at that, just know that every student have different learning capacity and pace. Learning capacity differs in each individual. So while some may be going up, catching up, another may not be catching up as well. Patiently encourage such persons. And even if the problem is beyond what you can handle, just keep on encouraging them while doing what you are supposed to do. You cannot break somebody's head to put knowledge inside of it. Okay? So just do what you can do as as a teacher, encourage, but do not talk down on the students, especially in front of other students. It doesn't speak well of you, and that can bring disrespect. Now, another thing I want to share with us is don't start what you cannot finish. Don't start what you cannot finish. You gave rules, you gave regulations. Don't come to school late. Come by so time. Um, report your assignments or submit your assignments to do your practicals, and then someone is doing the opposite. Make sure you carry out the penalty that you've written with immediate effect. If you don't do it, others are waiting to see your reaction. And when nothing is done about it, they are, all of them, you see them come to do the same thing. That is just how it is. So when one person breaks the rules, give the corresponding penalty for it so that others will learn. If you don't do anything about it, they are just going to fall on you, and by then you have a headache trying to um, caution everybody at once. So don't start what you cannot finish. Now someone is coming to school late and you're being nice to go and start teaching the person because he or she came late or because she's the only student that you have. Don't come to school by 11, the person came by 12, and you now go over to start teaching what you're supposed to teach since 9 a.m. Will you continue to do it that way? Because that is bound to continue to happen. Okay, so don't start what you cannot finish. Make sure that whatever you want to do at the moment or you want to be seen done, begin immediately to do it, to put it into action so that they will know that you're very serious with your rules and regulation and no one is going to mess up with it. Okay, so as a teacher, it's good to be friendly, but do not be overly friendly, because students are just students and teacher is a teacher. The relationship is student teacher, except otherwise proven. You do not have any business with being overly friendly. Don't be overly friendly and free to the extent that when there is a problem, you won't know how to solve it. That will cause a lot of issues. Okay, so this is just a little I want to share with us to as teachers, fashion school teachers, tellers with apprentice, or anyone that has an adult that has that is a student learning. You can put this into practice and see how it goes. Most importantly, have your structure in place. Structure is not building, but principles, regulations that guide your workplace. Put them in effect as soon as possible and see how it goes. All right, I'll see you in the next video where we'll be talking about students and how to go about it. See ya.